I don't know if you can tell, but I cut off maybe almost 4 inches of my hair, and it's still pretty long, but it feels a lot better. It was just taking a really long time to dry, and that's annoying to me. So I cut off quite a bit, got a lot of layers, and I'm still fidgeting with it. I'm always fidgeting with my hair on video. Sorry about that. Okay, so this video is about something that comes up frequently, not all the time, but pretty frequently when I'm working with someone who has been under eating for a long time, who usually is stuck in fight-flight mode and is on a mission of restoring, upregulating hormones, metabolism, adrenals, perhaps thyroid, but overall just getting your body into that place of feeling safe again so that you can effectively burn fat. These people are also commonly the individuals who feel like if I just eat one extra bite, I gain weight. That's because your body is literally in starvation mode. This is a real thing. It's just your body not feeling safe because you've already been restricting for so long. So whatever you give it that's extra, it's going to store because it's trying to be efficient. It's trying to be smart. And so the way to reverse this is baby steps and getting your body into a safe place. That usually requires fat adaptation, metabolic flexibility, a proper fat to protein ratio, the right types of fats. I have videos on all those things. But this video specifically is about what do you do, especially in the beginning when you're starting the reverse diet, you're starting to restore things, but you're taking those baby steps, which is increasing by only 5 to 10 grams of maybe fat or protein per week. And what if you're hungry for more? What if you go through, it's very common. It happened with me, happens with a lot of people I work with. You go through this just like huge upswing in your appetite and you're still hungry. You just want to eat more. And that wasn't happening before. First of all, what's happening is that your body is signaling properly. It's saying, you're finally giving me more of what I've wanted for so long. Please keep giving me more. I need this. Another thing that can be happening is you have actual nutrient deficiencies that your body senses. And so you're still craving more because you want to meet those deficiencies, but that can't happen overnight. So a lot of different things at play. Another thing that can happen, but shouldn't if you're using the right approach, is if you're spiking your blood sugar every time you eat, you're spiking your insulin. And when that insulin kicks in, starts to bring your blood sugar down. So sugar goes up, insulin comes in, starts coming down, and that down curve of your glucose makes you feel hungry. So that also gives people more cravings. But if you're eating the right foods, and if you're eating according to your circadian clock, with proper sunlight exposure, you shouldn't be getting those spikes. Sometimes it can still happen if someone has insulin resistance. I really believe that it's primarily because the body is saying, this is what I've wanted for so long. And I experienced this. I felt like I could eat for 5 grown men. Like I could sit down and eat fatty lamb from Billy Doe Meats for hours and still be hungry. What I actually would do, because I was like, am I still binge eating? Is this even possible? I would get up after I'd eaten everything I planned to eat. I would get up, take a walk, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. And if I was still hungry after that walk, then I would eat again. What I would say is be mindful. I really think it's wise to track macros. Why? Because you do run the risk of not reaching your goals, not becoming fat adapted, or gaining more weight than you want to gain if you're not tracking your macros. If you just start tripling your food intake overnight, you have not upregulated anything. Your body will store fat. That, like calories in, calories out, there is truth to it, but we do not base decisions or we don't even use this because it's not precise enough. I just made a video about that. That's a good video for clarification on what I'm talking about. But the fact is, if your metabolism is burning so much, it's your resting metabolic rate, okay? RMR, or TDEE, total daily energy expenditure. Like we all have different levels of this because if you've been only eating 1,200 calories for 4 years, guess what? That's all your body is using. That's what you're maintaining at. This is your baseline. So if you're going to increase your food intake, you should go slowly instead of Well, my ideal fat to protein is 2 to 1 and 1 gram of protein per pound of desired body weight, which is what, 2,000 calories for a lot of women. So if you go from 1,200 to 2,000 calories overnight, you'll probably gain weight. This is just a full disclosure and really trying to give you some structure so that you can heal, achieve all of your goals, upregulate your metabolism hormones. But if you don't want to gain weight, then you need to make a process out of it. If you're not afraid of gaining weight, I wasn't afraid of gaining weight. I needed to gain weight. So I just listened to my hunger, but I was still checking in with my macros at times because I wanted to learn and because I was being very intentional with a fat to protein ratio. So I went through these upswings of massive hunger and it freaked me out. Like, how can I be eating this much? I was healing. My body was saying, this is what I've needed for so long. So if you're that person and you're okay with gaining weight, I would encourage you to listen to your body, go for a walk, be sure it's not emotional, be sure it's not coming from a place of fight flight mode. But if you still feel true hunger, go ahead and eat more of what you're already eating, fatty meat. When you're not including carbohydrates in the picture, it does make things less complicated. And so that is a benefit. If you do not want to gain weight, then I highly recommend you need to be at least roughly tracking your macros. If you do not want to run into digestive issues like diarrhea, nausea, sometimes heart palpitations, all those things can happen just by increasing fat too quickly or eating too much rendered fat. You want your body to properly adapt. If you don't want to have acid reflux, you might struggle with acid reflux. If you do, your body needs to go through this process of upregulating stomach acid production. And so if you just throw a bunch more food in your gut for it to process and create stomach acid it doesn't know how. So you're going to trigger that acid reflux most likely. So there are a lot of things that can be avoided if you go slowly. But what do you do if you're still hungry? That's what the title of this video will be. What do you do if you're still hungry? Reassess, is this true hunger? I highly recommend go for a 10-minute walk, minimum. And then if you are still hungry, eat more fatty protein, fat and protein. I really believe that it's so important to partner with your body, and part of partnering with your body that's going to lead to more leptin sensitivity. Partnering with your body is what we want. Now, sometimes we're getting mixed signals, maybe because we have a history of binge eating or emotional eating, or we're in fight flight mode. So we want to just be sure we're making decisions out of a calm place and really assessing whether or not it's real hunger. But in most scenarios, I would say, listen to your body. Get some stretchy pants. If you are afraid to gain weight, but you have this insatiable appetite and you're on a healing journey and you've been, especially for people who have come from a history of under eating, you will likely run into this. You need to embrace this new season of listening and partnering with your body. I gained more weight than I set out to gain. And I continued to listen to my hunger even when I was like, man, I didn't really want to weigh 155 pounds. I'd be happy at 130. But I was not willing to deny my hunger because no way, I'm not going backwards. I am not denying my body. I was learning so much and I needed to know. I knew, and I just needed to know for myself that I could trust my body fully. And that's what I did. And when I did that, continued to heal, got my period back after 1.5 years, and then leptin kicked in like crazy. And it started saying, I don't really want this fatty lamb. I want some goat. I want some leaner cuts of lamb. I was not craving as much fat, and that was a completely natural thing. At the time, I was also doing CrossFit because I was feeling so stable, and so I was building muscle, and I started eating more protein. You can trust your body as you heal your hormones. It will become more intuitive and clear, but I never want people to stay in this place of denying their body. I know that no one wants to gain a bunch of weight, have acid reflux, have digestive issues, and it's a balancing act. But you have your own free will to go through the process as quickly as you want. A lot of people end up taking steps backwards because they try to rush forward with maybe increasing the fat, and then they hit a wall. They're like vomiting, having fat aversion, they're detoxing too much, so many different scenarios. Lyme disease, SIBO, mold toxicity, like all these different things have different scenarios. And I think with every person, you should try to be structured, mindful, take baby steps. But if you are truly hungry, eat more fatty meat. We need to partner with our bodies. We are truly fearfully and wonderfully made. Our bodies are created to thrive. They are incredible. We have hormones that help us to wake up, that help us to get deep sleep, that regulate our appetite, that regulate how much fat we can burn. We have hormones for everything. And so if you heal your hormones, you can become more intuitive, but you cannot heal your hormones if you keep ignoring and restricting your body. I hope this encouraged some of you. What I'm trying to say is it's not a black and white answer. It needs to be case by case. And if you can handle some side effects, if you're starving for more food, then please eat more food. But if you're the person who, you have a 2-week setback because you increase your fat too quickly, you need to be super mindful to not increase too quickly. It's just a matter of gauging where your body is at. The last thing I'll say is this can get a little confusing, and this is why coaching can be really helpful, and just talking it through with someone or thinking it through. Hopefully this video helps you. I just want you to be mindful that there are different things going on in your body as you're healing. Your hormones, or if you have a nutrient deficiency, are going to cause you to crave more of something, but perhaps your gallbladder can only handle so much. So it's a catch-22. And I have a video on this called The Ultimate Catch-22. So we have to keep all of those different things in mind. I hope this helped.